You know?
Doc Brown?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
He's got that look going.
All right, so now there's a new feed to the Mayhem page. So we got to start this all over. That's just the way this is going to have to roll. So there's a new live feed, everybody. And, yeah, we're going to start over.
Hello, my little rockers. Pissing me off.
What the hell are you doing, Corbin? My mom said if you want to become a lesbian, you have to lick carpet.
This is Uncle Stewie again with a very special announcement. Pissing me off.
That rocks.
Get over it, guys, okay? Get over it.
I agree with you 100%.
Now that we've dimmed the lights in the studio just a little bit, do you
does
think
that mean
you could
that-
calm down?
It's time for the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem with Linda and Darren.
Singing is the lowest form of communication.
Homer, you sing all the time.
No, I don't. I hate to rhyme.
You like musicals, don't you, Dad?
No, I don't. I think they're bad. They're fake and phony and totally wrong.
Wake up, Dad. You're singing a song.
I wouldn't. I couldn't. I hate that stuff.
Now, Homer, listen. I've had enough. In our family videos, we have plainly seen you're a singing, dancing, entertainment machine.
Every day I see you walking past my window. And that's okay. I see that gleaming bright eye. I know you got a sweet tooth. That's alright by me. When you gonna take me home? 'Cause I know you want to. Let's do it today. Oh, I got some sugar loving, kind that will let you get away. Sugar and spice, and all that nice that's away. Got me on me. Red, white stripes, all different types, but I'm the only one for you. I'm your candy cane. I'm your candy cane. One of these days you walk inside and carry me right on out the door. That's the way you want out to be. A little spare change in a great big hug. You could ask for anything more. No one but me. Sugar and spice, and all that nice and the way. Got me, red, white stripes, all different types, but I'm the only one for you. Some explaining to do, baby.
Hi, my name's Amanda. You listen to my dad and my stepmom on the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem, and this show rocks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was terrible.
No. The speed bumps are what gives it character.
Well, that was just a freaking nightmare. I don't know how you sliced that, but that was absolutely awful.
Well, anyone who's stuck with us through all that must be a fan, I guess. Do
Well,
we have any fans?
I don't know. I got a
We have a few friends, but I
got
don't know about fans yet.
I got a request from some people in China. And I got a request last week from Hong Kong, so somebody's listening to us. They're just probably really freaking far away. Anyway, how is everybody?
Pretty good.
Doing great. You know, that extra phantom hour of sleep is awesome.
Yeah, that helps. That helps. I don't know. It doesn't really help me. I still had shit to get out and do this morning, but, you know.
So,
There's still 24 hours of
what do you
day.
think of the
it's all
hair?
fake.
Well,
How do you guys like the hair?
it's a little crazy.
Looks like a cross between like Steve Richards and Doc Brown.
Who's
Keith
Steve
Richards, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Steve Richards. What is he?
Yeah,
That's,
Was he
that's
in-
the
Who's
guy
he?
from Fantastic Four, right? Isn't that
He's in the Rolling Stones cover band. Oh man! So Linda, how you doing?
I'm fantastic.
We got
I-
Ken
I-
Oettinger in the studio. Can we call you Crazy Ken?
We can.
We got Crazy Ken in the studio. I want you to be Crazy Ken because you're really a fun guy and you're smart and you're fucking nuts.
Hey,
So
I'm
I think
not a
that.
mushroom
Well,
today.
All right.
And so
Fun
I
guy.
didn't have the
Echo.
echo.
Yeah, sorry. That's because I turned on. This is just I tested this shit out. I ordered these new cables, and man, that shit did not work because we were trying to broadcast at 2 different locations, and that did not happen. I'm gonna have to dig deep in the pockets. I think to
See, now it
really
shouldn't be
nail
that
this.
hard. I mean, essentially, it's just 2 audio inputs coming
Well,
off the same splitter. I mean,
Clearly, it's that
Audio
hard.
inputs.
Clearly, the equipment doesn't want to react, or somehow that the technology locks us down. So
we
I don't-
clearly need somebody in here that's got more than 35 years experience in the industry.
Right.
It's just not working anymore.
Right, exactly. Anyway, so what's new, guys?
I got a dog.
You got a puppy?
I got a dog.
Really?
What kind?
He's a 100%, from what I'm told, he's a full-blood blue nose pit, which really sucks because I'm in an apartment complex.
Well, you just got to walk them.
Yeah.
Well, no, like you're not allowed to have them there.
Oh.
And being a voluntarist, like I got to respect property rights. So I'm not going to lie to them and be like, "Oh yeah, no, it's a boxer mix or something like that." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, this is exactly what it is, and it's just not going to work out. Which really sucks because he's the absolute most amazing dog I've ever met in my life. He's obedient, he's friendly, he's housebroken. He hasn't chewed a single thing in my crib except for the
Awesome.
duck that my roommate bought him yesterday.
Like
How
a
old-
live duck?
How old is he?
He's a 3-year-old.
Okay, so
Oh, he
he's
got
not
him like a
a
little
puppy
claw
anymore.
machine. I don't know. I say he's still a puppy.
Well, yeah.
He's puppy-ish. I mean, he still like spins around and he gets all excited and wigs his butt. He's great though. I love him. I
Nice.
absolutely love him.
So, but you're going to be moving soon then. It sounds like.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We just signed a lease for another year a month ago.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd be like, if I
Well.
could find somebody to sublet it, and my roommate was like, yeah, sure, screw it, let's dip for the dog. Like, absolutely. But the way it's going, I'm gonna have to like give him up, and I think my sister's willing to take him for me, so I'll still be able to see him, but. It's going to be one of those bittersweet roads.
Did
It's
I
great,
mention how fucked up the beginning of the show was? What a train wreck, and my whole attempt to try and broadcast us in multiple locations, and what a disaster it was. Did I tell you guys about that?
though? Only about 3 dozen times.
We pretty much were here for all that. So,
What about my hair?
are we going to really? This is like the 3rd time we're going to talk about your
Well,
hair?
yeah, because we broke down twice. So, I don't know who heard. But I really, this is fucking hot.
It's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm no hat today.
Now
so
you look like the mushroom coming out of there. Right?
I don't care. I don't care about anything anymore. But I did shave my beard.
Yeah, I'm glad the beard is gone.
Really? You didn't like the beard?
I did not like the beard. It's not. It made you look older, and it made you look like your face was fat, and it was just generally not flattering. I think.
Ken's like, wait a minute, his face is fat,
Oh,
and
it is.
without the beard, he has 6 chins. He's got more chins than a Chinese phone book. You know that old joke.
Says the guy that's like 160 pounds.
What? Who? Me? I'm 164 now.
Oh wow! Is that soaking wet?
That's that's with a towel, a wet towel.
A wet bandana around.
Hey,
your
whatever. Just because you're overweight doesn't mean I have to
and
be overweight.
can't even grow a beard. It sucks.
So there you go. And you don't have this collection of do-rags that I have because I have.
Oh, he's got a fine collection. Of
I
do-rags.
have. When my grandson comes over, he always wants to wear a do-rag because I like to wear a do-rag when I'm not doing things. But you know what? Fuck it. I don't care anymore. I'm going to wear a do-rag as often as I possibly can.
Wait a minute. Why are you wearing a do-rag when you're not doing the things? Aren't you supposed to wear a do-rag when you do things, not when you don't do things?
When I'm not doing things important. But notice how wide I had to make the do-rag to cover my giant
forehead.
So stupid. Oh, God.
Am I going to have to do your makeup before we do the show? To just like to
I would like
reduce
that.
The shine?
And before the band stuff. And I'm telling you, I am working on next week could be our coolest show to date. If everything comes together, this room is going to be full of people and it's going to be mind-blowing. But I don't want to say what it is because I'm not 100% sure I'm pulling this off. But all I can say is live music and good times and lots of pretty people.
And deodorant.
And deodorant, yes. We'll have that spray. We'll have it. You know, Snuggles has that air freshener now in a can, so we can use that.
That little bear is so creepy.
Oh, I like the bear. It kind of, it reminds me of the movie with
Chucky.
No, Seth MacFarlane. Ted.
Oh, okay. Ted. Yeah,
I love the bear.
Well, talking about creepy advertising characters, what about the Burger King King?
Oh,
he's
he's
like the creepiest ever.
They had to have done that.
They must have. I mean, he is just.
Who rolls up in the morning and turns over and just sees this prostitute staring at you? It's like, you want a McRib?
I know. Well, no, he's Burger King.
Well,
McRib is McDonald's. Hey, listen, you know the McDonald's clown ain't much better. So, come on, man. There's movies out there that are horror films that have clowns in them, and I'm sorry, every time I see a clown, especially in a horror film, I think of Ronald McDonald. So I don't know that's a bet. And the Grimace, and then they got the Hamburglar. These are different times we live in.
Yeah.
Right? You probably just need gay guys with wings flying around going, stop, get a cheeseburger.
I think, doesn't Red Bull have that already? Red Bull's got.
But they do it all in
guy with
cartoon
wings.
and like hand-drawn like pencil things. So so it's not quite as creepy as a full dress, full color clown jumping around playing with children, in one of those pits that have balls in them.
Speaking of playing with children, I hear Corey Feldman's coming out.
Oh.
He's getting ready to drop some stuff. Like he needs like $1 million to make this movie so I can point the finger.
He mentioned everybody's names this week.
He did.
Yeah. John Grissom he threw under the bus.
And the author.
Yeah, and one other guy, I can't remember who it was, but. It was funny because Corey Feldman was on this show, and he's sitting next to one of these blondes that are in his band, and I don't know if you've seen his band. The whole thing's fucking terrible, and he's just like this terrible dancer. It'd be like me on stage trying to dance, and it was and he's so little. He's just like a little guy. And I think maybe people just wanted to pick him up and put him in his pocket and see in their pocket and see what happened. I don't know that he was officially hit on. I'm not buying it. I'm going, because he's just so little. You just pick him up and go, oh, he's cute. Put him in your pocket.
I don't know, man. The money power.
Linda's looking at me like we're going to get sued.
You guys get freaky.
I don't know. He has no lips either. If you look at Corey Feldman, he has no lips.
You'd think he'd have gotten plastic surgery by now. I mean, isn't that the whole rage?
Well, what are you going to get taller? He's like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, they could add somebody's shoulders to the bottom of his foot.
What?
Add his shoulder bone, just like grafted onto the bottom
of his foot.
Absolutely, it'd be like permanent risers.
But how would he walk if the shoulders were sewn to the bottom?
Somebody else's shoulder bone. Use that as a riser.
Well, wouldn't it just be easier to get platform shoes?
Yeah, get platform shoes.
That'd be so much
no, because
less
then you have
painful.
to take them on and off.
Okay. All right. Crazy Ken, and this is why we're going with Crazy Ken is on the show with us.
I'm glad you didn't go into medicine because that's just
he'd be making
for a while.
some.
I studied the body. I was a massage therapist for like a month.
for a month.
All right.
I know
So
the
it's like a
bones well.
South Park episode of Centipede. What was that?
Human centipod.
Human centipod.
Oh.
Hey, how do you guys
Decided.
like my bandana and my hair?
It's very blue.
4.
Fucking
The
hot.
fourth time?
I want to do me right now. Hey, listen, I've been seeking out all kinds of really cool music, and we pull this music, and the whole idea is in what I was trying to do with this multiple feed thing, which clearly isn't working, is that I want to be able to put the shit up on our website, and there's only certain formats that allows me to feed the feed from this after the fact to the website that stores it, so I can do that. So as of right now, I can't do that. So you have to keep watching us on Facebook at the Dag-Nabit and then we share it on the Darren Edwards Project page every week. We share it on my page. You are afraid all your friends and coworkers are gonna be offended, so you don't share the fucking show anywhere.
I did.
She doesn't.
I did last week.
All right, well, share it this week. This is so far already a fun show. So, and how do you like Ken? How do you like the new little
It's gorgeous.
Dag-Nabit
I love
studios?
burgundy, man. Red is like as you can see, I rock red all the time, and I love this. I love it. You got the guitars finally up and hanging on the walls.
Yeah. Oh, and I had a couple of questions about where the artwork on the shit show came from. Welcome to the shit show. That's Kristen Bonstadt. She's from Yorkville, and she has this little company called It Started in a Mason Jar, and she has this little trailer, like an old school, like 1950s camper, a tiny little one that she painted. It's half white and pink, and she goes around and she has all this shit inside. She gutted it and turned it into this little like craft factory that she brings out. Yeah, she's really awesome. Her and Nicole Kendall, they started that little business, and that's where I got that from. And then I was asked about where the Freddie Mercury came from. That's a Jenny King original for Dag.
Love that.
Now, what else do you think what other painting do you think in this room people have asked about?
Possibly this one.
The yellow one? You can't see it so much on camera today.
Little
But
vampiric face.
That's the only painting I have ever painted in my life. And I want to get back to painting, but I painted that, and it's called Good Day to Die.
In kindergarten, right?
Yeah, no, fuck you. I painted that painting. I painted that painting when I was in Vegas, and I was offered $20,000 for that painting, and thought I was.
Oh,
no way!
Bullshit.
Ken Goodrich offered me the money, $20,000.
Why didn't you sell it to him?
Well, because I'm an idiot. And then I went back to him like 4 months later, and I said, "Hey, you want to buy that painting?" He goes, "No, $4,000." I'm like, "Fuck you, man! It's worth $20,000. You already offered me $20,000, but I was offered $20,000 for that painting."
And then he re-offered you $4,000, and you still said no.
I still said no. Yes, I know it was really a stupid move on my part, But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, hey, listen, let's play a song here because there's some artists that I found here that I really like. This is a song by Brian Fallon, and it's his new single. And you guys can look these up on YouTube. Go like them on Facebook. Great artist, Brian Fallon's song "Forget Me Not."
Yeah, buy it on iTunes.
Baby, you can take me anywhere, because I get
we're back.
Look at that.
Look at that. I gotta always throw the
All right. Well, you've lost your train of thought, so I'll just add that last song was Brian Fallon, Forget Me Not. And that song's going to be on his new album, Sleepwalkers. It's going to be released on February 9th.
I kind of dug it. I mean, it reminded me of like some like late 90s,
Yeah.
like 1998-ish
very-
like style, like alternative,
Very poppy.
mellow stuff, yeah.
And,
Yeah, that was a good song. I like it.
He's going to be at the House of Blues.
In Chicago?
In April.
Yeah, get out and see him,
April
man.
19th.
That's, the thing about the music is I like when people are doing things a little different. I don't know about you guys, I'm so sick and tired of listening to the same old when it comes to music. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And this guy, he's a little poppy, but he's got this kind of, old school rock thing tied to him. It's a little,
And it sounds like he's actually singing and not auto-tuning himself.
Well,
Right,
gosh, you got to
exactly.
like that, right?
right.
Put some actual effort into your craft. Holy cow.
Yeah, spend a minute trying. That's what I would say. Hey, did you guys notice my hair in my headband?
Oh, geez.
Anyway.
Okay, that's fifth time, I think. Fifth,
So,
sixth?
God, I'm just having my headphones all the time are a problem in this studio. It just pisses me off, and everybody else's seems to be fine, and mine are always freaking screwed up, and it pisses me off.
Well, you're not spending enough money on them. You didn't get those good $1,500 for headphones.
Well, it's not my headphones. It's the connection into the headphone amp, and it's pissing me off.
Okay.
So Steve Davern was out there, who we haven't seen Steve in a while.
No.
And, but he's got a great band out there, and if he's been a musician, he's recorded at Dag-Nabit. Great old friend of ours. It's nice to see him tuning in. If you'd send us some shit, I'd play it. But every time I say, send me stuff, I get stuff from people all over the country and not a lot of people from Chicago. So I'm going to start playing the stuff that I seek out and find and the people are sending me. So I don't care where they're from. Because we have fans in Hong Kong now.
Exactly.
Well, while we're talking about Steve, he wrote a children's book.
I know, he did.
Going to the White Sox game.
And the Cubs game. He wrote two of them.
Did he write a Cubs
Yeah.
one later?
Daddy was a Cubs. Grandpa was a Cubs fan. Daddy was a Cubs fan, and I'm a Cubs fan. And he did the same thing with the Sox fan. I think he sold out of them. Actually, all the Cubs ones are gone
So,
last year.
Wait, so
when
which
Aiden
one was the real
little,
one?
so I used to read him. We had the Sox one, not the Cubs one. So I always used to have Aiden finish with "Go Cubs."
Oh, that's right.
Like,
and we
yeah,
only
it's
had
like
the
it
Sox.
pained
Steve,
me
you
to read
son
the
of a
book. Yeah.
bitch.
What? How come we didn't get the Cubs one?
Well, now he's sold out of them because they.
Well, good for him.
Well, you know what was funny? He put a post up on Facebook, and he was selling them on Amazon. Okay, so he had a garage full of them for years, and then all of a sudden the Cubs are going to the World Series. And one day he put a post up because Amazon had inventory. They were the very last one they had in stock. They were asking $893 for.
Oh my gosh!
I actually shared the post, so it's somewhere buried in my personal page on Facebook. But it was awesome.
I love the free market. $839
for a book. But
children's book.
I mean, Steve still only probably got paid whatever he got paid, $3 or $4 for the book, $5.
I just want to know which story was the real story. Like, was his parents Cubs fans or were they Sox fans? Because if you're saying both,
well, but see, my family's divided in Cubs and Sox. My son lives next door to Wrigley Field. Him and Tyler and Elise are all Sox fans, and me and Chicken and Corey are Cubs fans, and Linda, of course.
See, I don't know. Personally, I don't buy into the whole collective of like the sports ball thing, but it seems to me like there's there's very much tribal.
Have you ever been to a Cubs game or a Sox? Oh my God, they're so either. You go to
$7 for a warm beer. That sucks.
Okay, that part does suck, but I think your price is off too. It's been a while because I think they're like 9 or 11 now. But the idea is you go and you party before you get there, and then you only have to have a couple of beers. But even going to a Sox game is fun because it's the absolute other side. There's nobody at Sox Park, nobody. So the place seats 40,000 people, and there's 6,000 people. Their place is freaking empty. But you go to a Cubs game and the place is always packed, whether they're winning or losing. So, Sox fans always bust balls and say, well, Cubs fans aren't, they don't know anything about baseball or they're not loyalists. And I'm like, you can't tell me a Cubs fan is fair weather when they pack the park every single game of every year and you can't get a ticket. That's not fair weather to me. Fair weather to me is showing up only when the Sox are in the playoffs or the World Series, because the rest of the season, the other 60-something games, it's empty. And that park, I don't know, what do they call it now? It's
wasn't it U.S. Cellular?
It was the South.
First rate or something.
It was the
South first rate.
First rate mortgage field, 4.9% divided by 7 field. But you go there and it's gorgeous. That park is gorgeous.
Yeah,
the inside is gorgeous. They have like this whole mall and the food. They got great food there. And then you go to the park and there's like 9 people watching the fucking game. And it's kind of funny.
I doubt anybody will ever make keychains of the wood from first rate, 3/4 interest.
First rate 3/4 divided by 7 field, depending on the Fed's field. It's not going to happen.
Started on the Fed.
Wow. So anyway, I've had a busy week. Baseball fields ended, and so now I got to get all the shop cleaned out. I got all this crap I bought over the year that I'm selling, and we've got we have 3 storage lockers now. We're down 2, and I'm trying to get shit combined, get stuff stored away for the winter, and that's what I've been doing.
Did you make sure to winterize all your equipment?
Not yet. I'm doing that. I'm almost done. I got some of it done and not all of it.
Now, what all does that entail? Because I don't know.
I changed the oil, put new blades on mowers. One of the machines is having one of the baseball field machines. I got to put a new motor in. Another baseball field machine is getting a new scare fire and a new drag rack.
What's a baseball field machine? Is that I'm envisioning just a really big lawnmower, but it sounds like you're talking about the thing that lays down the lines too.
No, it doesn't lay down the lines. That's all done by hand. The baseball field grooming machine is a 3-wheeled machine. One we have is 2-wheel drive, and the other one is a 3-wheel hydraulic drive, and it has equipment on it that hydraulically goes down, tears up the dirt, and then smooths it out. Okay. So it's not hard as a rock, because when the dirt, well, no, rototiller is totally different. That tears up the dirt this big. It tears up just a fine, maybe an inch, the top layer of dirt, and then it allows you to spread it out, so the ball can still have some bounce, but yet it doesn't have so much bounce that it comes off on a line drive and hits you in the face and knocks all your teeth out. So, and it's designed to keep the field safe. You got to keep the field safe for kids and shit. Yeah.
You're off the camera.
Oh yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. People hear my voice and they think of my beauty.
Should we talk about your hair again?
We should. We should always talk about my hair. I want to play another song, and hopefully I got this right. It's Mr. Heavenly. The next song that I have on here is Kadabar.
Correct.
Die, Baby, Die. This is another band that I found that I really like, man. There's just, one of the great things about this medium that we couldn't do back when Linda and I did radio almost 20 years ago is we had to wait for distributors like Midwest Artist Distribution, Dave Selania, or whoever the distributor was, whoever it was. We got them from Sony. We used to get all kinds of funny head picks. Like if you go through the Trunks of Life, I got all these pictures from David Lee Roth to, crazy orchestral. They would send us headshots of, here's Pavarotti, play his music. And it's like, well, that's not what our show is about. But you would think I was friends with all these people, but I really wasn't. Some of them we kind of got friendly with, but not all of them.
We had some fun.
We had a lot of fun.
We did.
God.
It was fun to open the mail.
It was, because we'd get hundreds.
Some of this stuff was so bad.
What do you mean open the mail? Like clicking on it, right?
No,
people used to.
They used to send it
in
a package.
CDs.
Here's a funny story. One of my favorite rock bands of all time, in the last, let's say, 2 decades, is Disturbed. And when we had the magazine and we had the radio show, they had sent us cassettes, and it was my brother Chris who said, dude, and it was sitting in a pile of cassettes. He's like, dude, you got to come listen to this. And we had an office on the north side, so this shit it came in droves. And Disturbed used to come and always just beg us to do a write-up on them. I'm like, who is this band? Well, it wasn't until like 5 months later, my brother Chris pulls this. Do you remember that? Pulls out the cassette. You're not saying it. You're shaking your head like you kind of remember.
Kind of.
And we had this little trumpet that used to sit. Our office, the way it was set up, it was this huge U-shaped thing. And there were stations where we all worked, and in the middle was this island where all the shit got dumped. And we had a trumpet there. So, something cool would come in, we'd scream on the trumpet. I don't think you actually ever played to that, but that was kind of mine and Chris's game.
Okay.
And he's like, he literally came and was like, Dad, you got to listen to this. You got to listen. It was a cassette tape of Disturbed. It was awesome. I don't remember who sent it to us, if it was a fan, if it was the band. But, man, I freaking fell in love with them. And, so that's my Disturbed story.
Best Simon and Garfunkel cover ever.
Oh, well, not only that, but, I mean, their whole catalog of music is great. And the lead singer is, his father was a pastor, so he grew up in a very religious house. And, pretty, just crazy shit.
Yeah, that'll make you Disturbed.
That'll make you Disturbed. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
One of the bands you've got on your playlist here, they did some dates with Disturbed.
Who?
12-Foot Ninja.
That's like an Australian band.
Yeah.
We're going to play them later.
Yep.
They're really awesome, and I just discovered them yesterday. But this is a Cadavar, Die Baby Die. Hopefully it comes on the way I want it to come on here. Here we go. Cadavar, Die Baby Die.
Hi, this is Ken Jagman.
And I'm Steve Kuba from the Ken Jagman Band.
You're listening to the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem Show. Steve, why aren't you wearing any pants?
Darren wanted it that way.
Cadavar, Die Baby Die.
If you're ever tripping, don't watch the video.
Yes. No, you'll fall down. You don't want to fall down. That you can find Cadavar on YouTube, Die Baby Die, their official video, great band, and they're out of Germany. You said, Linda, right? Okay, all right. You know what we can't hear because you keep touching that microphone. You've turned your mic off.
Oh, yeah.
Stop.
I did.
Touching.
Sorry.
I swear to God,
Sorry.
I'm going to kill you. Stop touching that button. I control your mic over here.
So yes, they are from Berlin, and that's just three guys who go by the names Tiger, Dragon, and Lupus, which is
they go by Tiger, Dragon, and what? Lupus.
That's actually his first name. So,
he's named after a terrible disease.
But apparently,
maybe he thinks
that's
he's a
actually his
person.
name, Lupus Lindemann.
Wow.
So,
but
how
that was his
how
born
come
name?
the other guys have nicknames like Tiger and Dragon, and he
didn't
going
need
by-
one.
He
was born with a nickname.
So
he's named after a debilitating disease.
Yeah.
Nice parents.
Yeah. So and their fourth album called Rough Times was just released the end of September.
Can you talk in your mic?
Yes.
God, stop touching the button on your mic and talk. Put your mouth on the mic.
Stop yelling.
My
Hey.
parents were going to name me. My parents were going to name me Hematoma, and that was. But I don't know which. One of them decided it was a bad idea.
Thank God.
God, my thing with. And this is my favorite thing about rock and roll is I really am a big fan of the 3-4 piece band and just getting up and rocking and hitting it,
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite things, always playing in the band was before rehearsal, just jamming for, 20 minutes as a band. It's a great way to warm up. It's a great way to get new ideas and just doing that. So I love these 3-piece bands that come out and bust out shit. The Foo Fighters, one of my favorite rock bands today. I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan, and that really started as a 4-piece. And now he's big, and he's producing a lot bigger music, so he's got more guys in the band. But still, that it all started out in that solid ground of just being able to stand up, pick up an instrument, and rock your fucking ass off. And that's what it should always be about.
Well, that's how those garage bands all started. You had to scrape together just enough guys just to play in the garage.
Well, like the DEP, we're doing this thing, and there's so many people involved. It's so hard to get rehearsals together.
That'd be the Darren Edwards project for all those people that don't.
That would, which we played at the beginning of the show, and Linda didn't mention our band, my band, but she wants to make sure
Thought
that
everybody knew that already.
That Lupus out of Germany is everybody knows who the hell that is. But it's tough for us to get together. Everybody plays in other projects, and they're all great projects, and they're all great musicians, and they all, now we're older, we all have families, so getting that together is tough. But with a 3-4 piece band, like the kid plays with Black Pearl, and he was out playing last night. I was going to go see him out in Villa Park, but I was too tired. That's the cat's ass if you're a rocker.
I don't know about being old, if that's a good enough excuse. Keith Richards didn't let that stop him. He's like 95 years old. They're still touring.
No, I know. But also, really the root of the Rolling Stones is just 5 guys. And that's it. Now, granted, they have other musicians that back them up now. But I watched the video of Mick Jagger in rehearsals before he goes on tour, practicing all his dances, his moves. He works with just one guy, and they play the music in this kind of little shitty dance studio, and he just works through it, and he practices his singing, practices all his moves, and he does it. The guy's like freaking 76 years old.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bounce in his step for
Still
a
got
guy
like
that's
like a 20-inch waist.
And didn't they do a lot of drugs? Like a lot of drugs?
That's what people say, yeah. And God bless him. I've never done any drugs in my life.
Not even caffeine.
No. I'm just... Since I was a baby, I've only drank water. I've never even had a soda.
Oh, so you like fluoride too, then?
Right. I just pack myself full of all kinds of contaminants that are clearly legal by city limits.
Because there should be a legal limit for how much chlorine and poison you can have in your water.
Right. You would think there would be a limit, but clearly there isn't. What was that town down south of Chicago that had they had to shut all the water off the people because they were just giving them cancer, like Tinley Park or something?
What the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that one.
Well,
Dude,
what
do you live in a fucking cave? How do you not hear about these?
I focus on anarchy and liberty minded freaking news stories.
Crazy Ken. Crazy Ken in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Poison in your water? Yeah, that's piddly stuff. I'm worried about the illusion of authority.
So all this crap that's come up about sexual harassment, I got to chime in Hollywood. Okay, sexual harassment as a whole is bad, but got to be honest, it's kind of a vague term because all that keeps coming to my head is Greg Brady and Marcia Brady. And because they got together and dated for a little while during the Brady Bunch. And what did Greg say? Did Greg Brady say, "Oh, you're hot, you got a nice ass," or did he go, "You are a fine young lady, and I would like to take you for a soda"? Because I don't think it happened that way. Well, I think he was like, Marcia, or what? She wasn't Eve Plum. That was Jan. Marcia was the fuck was her name? But he had to go, man, dude, you're hot. I want to tap that. Guys say dumb things. And Dustin...
But that's not an analogy to the whole harassment by someone who is in more of a position of power thing. So they were both teenage actors on a TV show. So
right. So if Gwyneth Paltrow was all of a sudden one day baking cookies at 3 a.m. in a fucking bakery in Podunk, Ohio... and then she has an opportunity to become a huge celebrity. You're telling me she wouldn't maybe be willing to suck a dick for fame and fortune?
Well, she had rich, famous parents, but
okay, maybe it was Rosie O'Donnell.
Actually,
so she started out sucking.
You mentioned Gwyneth Paltrow, but her parents did not really. They didn't.
She's a kook. Rosie O'Donnell. Really. How the fuck?
Well, she wouldn't be sucking dick. She'd probably
Well, in the beginning, she came out after she was famous. So, don't tell me, hey, listen, I know you're right now working at Speedway selling bottles of water and gasoline, but we have this opportunity for you. It's going to make you rich. You're going to be wealthy beyond your imagination. You're going to be famous.
You just got to let us play with your butt sometimes.
You got to do some butt play. And you do a little butt play with... some guy, Steen, ends in a Steen. Clearly, Jews are horny. And then, did I just go too far there?
Probably.
So anyway,
I don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of horny Jews.
Well,
they do tend to have sex. It's not necessarily like a discouraging thing.
No, it's not. Yeah. Catholics and Jews like to get laid.
Where are you going
Although
with
Catholics
this?
lie about
My
it.
My point is that it's kind of ridiculous. So the Dustin Hoffman thing. So this lady comes out against Dustin Hoffman. Says in 1987, I can't remember what film they were shooting because I don't care. He was an assistant or an intern, or she was, and brought him, his hard-boiled egg in his dressing room, and she asked if she could get him something else, and he goes, "No, I like hard-boiled eggs and soft-boiled clitoris," is what he said to her. So here we are. What?
That sounds like some Dustin Hoffman type, classy, raunchy flirting. Like that's like the type that I would imagine him.
But see,
Mr. Holland.
That's the problem. Is that's how guys kind of flirt. Remember how I got you? I remember when I met you. I got off the elevator and I'm like,
Roofies?
I'd like to stand, Roofies. I'd like to stand you up put your head in a bucket of Jello and then just hold your legs up like a giant butterfly and dig down and eat your soul. That's how we met.
That never occurred.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
You had pictures of your kids with you on a clipboard.
Shut up, Ken.
8 by 10 black and white photos of his lovely children that he had taken.
That was harassment because that was a sure way to the sack.
Yeah, that was really unfair of you.
Remember when you showed up at my apartment with Chinese food and you raped me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that was
recall that
sexual.
either.
It freaking
I don't-
happened. It happened.
Stop
you
making
totally,
up stories.
You totally took advantage of me.
Stop making
and
up
you
stories.
used what was commonly
here-
known then as an aphrodisiac
But
of
he-
some sorts to lure me into the sack.
No.
That's what
Chinese food.
happened.
It's not
MSG.
true.
Yeah.
So, but this is the one that bothers me is that woman whose name I can't recall. George Bush the senior.
Okay.
In his wheelchair, Barbara
Yeah.
at his side,
Yeah,
and supposedly like pat women on the bottom. But you're in the middle of a photo shoot with his wife is right there. He's 80 something. It's like, just don't complain
Walter
about it
Payton,
for heaven's sake.
Walter Payton smacked
That-
every player on the ass he ever played with. He would be in prison by today's standards if he wasn't dead.
See, that was a cultural norm, and it wasn't unwanted. I mean,
Right.
I'm pretty sure that there's not many women that want a geriatric ex president. If that's even like a thing, I'd prefer to call him authoritarian sociopaths smacking
Okay.
you on the ass.
Of course you would.
Well, for sure, I would say awkward, but yeah,
It's not okay.
But to
I don't care
use
how much
the
power
word
you have.
But it was
to use the word assault just seems like extreme for them.
But that's my whole
scenario.
point, is because it's listen, culturally in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, things were different in the way you approach people, and now we're a lot more politically correct.
Sadly.
And yeah, sadly, and I want to know when they're going to stop restricting wildlife from just jumping up and humping something, because I mean, it's just getting to a point where it's just starting to seem a little ridiculous. And I'm not saying that approaching or accosting or grabbing a woman's breasts is okay. If you,
I
if
hope
you don't
you're not.
know her, if you know her, it should be semi-fine at least. No, if you know her, you're friend. I'm kidding, but if you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
so it just you can't take somebody who's now in their 70s and then all of a sudden you're going to roll over on them, like this Kevin Spacey thing. The guy was a young man in the 80s, and he was an up-and-coming actor or hoping to be, and clearly he was gay, and I know he tried to use it, and everybody spun that on him to say, listen, I'm gay, because he has never told anybody he's gay, but he hit on a guy, and now one person does it, so everybody does it. I mean, it's just terrible. I mean, with the things men say to women to try and cohabitate with them, to get them. I pulled out pictures of my kids to totally used it to get laid. Now, I've 24 years I managed to stay with the same woman.
But presenting the fact that you are a strong, virile man that can pop out, babies.
It was easier.
That's a little bit different than roofying some 14-year-old kid and putting your finger in his butt.
It was either
Clearly.
that or I bring a bag of my semen to work and go, look at.
What are you,
I am
Antifa? You're going to start throwing...
I can
Oh,
breathe
now
now.
you're just grossing me out now. Stop.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I opted for the pictures of my kids.
But I will say one thing. I certainly don't think that every individual. I can't say it's just women because it's happened to young men too. Every individual that has voiced a complaint and said, "Hey, I was harassed, or I was taken advantage of, or I was assaulted," that doesn't necessarily mean it has to go so far as to be rape, but it happens. It's uncomfortable, and it's.
Listen, it's not good
So
to. It's not good.
individuals need to be aware of how their actions.
I
may
just think
affect
Hollywood
people.
is a different animal in one sense, and it
But
should
should it be?
be.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
So
It is in California. I mean, those freaking liberal freaks are crazy out there.
I put a post up on my Facebook page, and I tagged my sons in it. And I said, "Women are no longer pretty. Don't talk to them. Don't have lunch with them. Don't open a door for them. Don't do because I don't want anything to be construed as sexual harassment. Like I don't even talk to you once the show's over anymore.
right.
I don't even when God forbid when you're looking at shirts. I wouldn't want it implied that maybe I thought you had nice tits.
You can't think that. You're not allowed. Women are not a sexual object anymore, Dag. You
No,
can't think of them like
they're
that.
not. No. So
and neither are men with fucking fireman calendars and shit like that. Men are
no, you
not a
can't do it. I don't want to see another. I saw a picture
do.
of a dog that was pretty. See,
Good old
Yeah,
female
I feel
privilege.
it.
Got to
Right?
check that female privilege. yo.
Yeah. The female privilege.
I'm
in
just
the,
kidding. I've never owned such a calendar. I don't care.
Why would you
I'm
own a
probably the
calendar
only
when
one
you
that
got
does.
all this?
Right.
You got all this. See this, people? This is
I'll just-
unbelievably and the bandana. Did I mention my hair? I'm just saying, you know.
There's a fine line when it comes to what sexual harassment, what assault is. I mean, what it really should come down to is have you made somebody a victim, okay? And you can't choose to say, "Oh, you hurt my feelings, you offended me, so now I'm a victim." That doesn't work because that's such a subjective concept, okay? If you can prove that there's actual harm that's done, you know, if somebody smacked your ass or if somebody just says something that makes you uncomfortable, go away from them. If you're at work, that's way not appropriate. It's not professional. They need to probably have a talk to with HR. You know, but the difference comes when you actually make somebody a victim, when you violate their personal property, their body, when you touch them or actually assault them. That's not okay. Saying shit, flirting, it may be unprofessional. It may be dickish and really boorish and really low class. But I'm sorry, it doesn't make you a victim.
Very well stated. Way better stated than I stated it.
I would agree.
That's the thing is that when do all of a sudden our words become so offensive that now those words become lumped into this thing of harassment or assault? And you can't. Listen, if you're so fucking weak that somebody said you were hot and had a nice ass in 1992 and in 2017, you're still thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe you should have stopped into an institution of mental rehabilitation at some point in time in that 30 years.
But also, you got to bear in mind, though, I
tell people they're pretty all the time, men and women. Man, I got no problem telling a man he's good looking. No man has ever said, "I'm feeling sexually harassed by you." But instead, he said, "Hey, what are you doing later?"
But also, I think the issue within pop culture these days, though, is more so these people within these positions of power that are saying, "Hey, yeah, sure, I'll help you out over here. I'll introduce this guy. Just give me a little slap and tickle." I mean, that's not a crime. They're not violating somebody's rights, but they are setting them up to propagate this really shitty ass system of quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and it's usually in the bathroom type deal where
that's where
there's this whole power structure that's really tainting a lot of Hollywood.
Nobody sees me in the bathroom when I'm doing in there.
And I think it's a slippery slope too.
I'm just kidding. Listen, man, you should never approach a woman, touch a woman, have contact with a woman, against her will. That's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. But man, come on. Assault is a big fucking term, and you're tearing, people's lives get completely torn down. And if words are now becoming assaulting to somebody, from somebody, I've called people literally in a fucking Best Buy, "You're a fucking jagoff." Well, is that assault now? I mean,
apparently it depends if they're liberal.
I think there has to be physical contact for that.
Well, I don't know, man.
Well, that would be battery. Apparently, assault. Like if I say I'm going to shoot you with the gun, that's legally
maybe.
That's assault. As far as the
you're
law is
assaulting
concerned.
somebody. So I just don't know where the fine line is. But I'm willing to cross it at every turn just to prove a point with Linda. Linda. I'm going to let it go.
You're going to find a horse head in your bed.
I know. Hey, listen, I want to play another song.
Would this be Mr. Heavenly?
This is Mr. Heavenly making. Where's Mr. Heavenly from, Linda?
Well, actually, I'm not sure where they're from, but they will. So pay attention to this song, folks, if you like it. They will be at Lincoln Hall and Shuba's in Chicago on November 11th.
I love that place.
So,
God, I didn't even realize all these cool new bands I discovered are playing here. That's why I got you. Here's Mr. Heavenly making excuses.
The key to financial well-being is learning.
Okay, that wasn't Mr. Heavenly making excuses. That was a fucking commercial. So once again, I hit the wrong button. But don't hate me because I still am absolutely beautiful, no matter how you slice it. Well, that's right. They can't hear you right now. They can only hear me. Here's Mr. Heavenly making excuses.
rhythm, but he refuses, making excuses.
You let your hair down, kick off your heels now. Box in the moonlight, till the sunrise taps you out. Your hips snaking rhythm, bare feet in precision. Silhouette in constant motion, spinning a web to get his attention. And he refuses, making excuses. He won't get down, no, 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 no.
I can't move to this song.
I always move it wrong.
I should be gone. I should be running along. No, I got work in the morning. Think I ate something with poison. I'm hearing voices. I chip my front tooth. I am telling the truth. I'm not making excuses. I know it's alarming. I think I've come down with something. These are not bruises. I'm not telling lies. I might die. I'm not making excuses.
You've got no time to mend a garden of lemons that he planted in his kisses when he thought you weren't paying attention. He's drinking milk so sour, getting boring by the hour. Silhouette in constant motion, spinning a web of tired affection.
Going with movement, a stiff stiletto will move rapido. It's so fleeting, is repeating.
Making it up, think you're making it up.
I can't move to the song.
I always move it wrong.
I should be gone. I should be running along. No, I got work in the morning. Think I ate something with poison. I'm hearing voices. I chip my front tooth. I am telling the truth. I'm not making excuses. I know it's alarming. I think I've come down with something. These are not bruises. I'm not telling lies. I might die. I'm not making excuses. No, I got work in the morning. Think I ate something with poison. I'm hearing voices. I chip my front tooth. I am telling the truth. I'm not making excuses. I know it's alarming. I think I've come down with something. These are not bruises. I'm not telling lies. I might die. I'm not making excuses.
I'm gonna give me some religion. I'm gonna join the Baptist church. I'm gonna give me some religion. I'm gonna join the Baptist church. Gonna be a preacher, so I don't have to work. I wish I had a heaven of my own. I wish I had a heaven of my own. Give all of my wealth preach these blues. I'm gonna pick my seat and sit down. I'm gonna preach these blues. I'm gonna pick my seat and sit down. Cause when the spirit comes, Lord knows I'm gonna want you to. Grabbed up my suitcase and took off down the road. And took off down the road. I said farewell, my church. May the good Lord bless your soul. Bless your soul. Bless your soul. Bless your soul. Bless your soul.
Hello again, everybody. You're listening to the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem. And Dag-Nabit spelled backwards is Gad-Tibban or something like that. I don't know. It's just going to be on the air.
Harry Carey. God, I miss. God, we got to find Murph. We need to find Murph.
We do. So,
go ahead.
Yeah, that last tune was Larkin Poe. Two sisters out of Atlanta, Georgia.
They're
I really love that too.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Really awesome.
And yeah, one's playing slide guitar, the other one's playing banjo. So I'm going to discover some more Larkin Poe music because that's badass.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought it was like Larkin Rose, who's this like libertarian philosopher, and I'm like, oh my god, no way. And then it's Poe. But they were really good.
Yeah,
really talented too. I mean, anytime you turn like the guitar sideways and just put it on your lap, you know they're really good. Like, they don't even have to play anything. They're just like, yeah, dude, they're good.
I should just do that for you to really like me then. I can turn a guitar. I got a lot of guitars in this room. You guys can't see the rest of the studio, but there's guitars everywhere. As a matter of fact, and since I redid the studio here, I took all the guitar stands out of here, so now I have like 10 guitar stands. I don't know what the hell to do with.
Sitting in the kitchen.
Sitting
in the way.
Sitting in the kitchen, yeah. So
chalk it up on Let Go.
Who was that
I
we
think
played?
There's at least one that still has the price tag hanging off.
Yeah,
of it.
they all do. What was the band I played before Larkin Poe, Dork?
That was wait. Mr. Heavenly.
Mr. Heavenly.
Mr. Heavenly, and as I said, November 11th, Lincoln Hall and Shoe Buzz.
Yeah, right on. Remember,
Check 'em
talk
out.
into your mic so we can hear you. I'm glad you didn't touch the button this time. God.
In the words of a young lady we both know, don't be such a dick, Dag.
You know, here's...
Who doesn't say that?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot my whole life. So I'm not sure which young lady you're referring
It
to.
could be almost anyone.
If anybody's probably could have be told I'm sexually harassing them, it'd probably be me that they could say that about. Anyway, so one of the things, through the week, I've been testing out new stuff, and I'll put up these shows on my personal page and sometimes on the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem page, and testing out just some new gear and some new ideas. Anyway, I keep getting this message when I play Darren Edwards' project stuff that this fucking company out of the UK, Sky Sports digital media company, owns my music.
You're getting hit with a patent troll.
Yeah, somebody who's trying to steal my music that I own the copyrights to in another country and claim ownership of my fucking music.
Don't you love the government?
Oh, it's not the government. It's just a thief.
Who do you think's enabling them?
Okay. What? This isn't a government thing. This is just something that a company did.
Absolutely is. Government's the one that delineates patents and they administer
it's not
it.
patent. You don't patent your music.
Copyrights. I'm sorry.
So do you think copyrights are bad?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't believe in intellectual property.
Oh.
So.
All right.
Oh, well, you're clearly not smart then, because nobody's trying to steal your fucking brain power.
This is the type of stuff that happens, though. Freaking companies will take false credit for other people's stuff and try and make money off it. It's bullshit.
But it's my property. It's like moving into my house and saying, "Well, now I own this house."
No,
No, it's exactly
this
the
is
same.
tangible. Music isn't tangible.
How would
The hell it is
you
intangible.
propose
What are you
then
talking about?
An artist
Release it
earn
Creative
their
Commons.
living.
You got to release it Creative Commons, and if it's good enough, that's how good music and good musicians will actually thrive.
You're out of
happens
your
all the time.
mind.
It happens all the time. I know several musicians that work that way. They release it to Creative Commons, and they take donations, and they could still sell the tracks on iTunes and all the various platforms and stuff like that. But
if you don't protect the property and the intellectual property that you created, sometimes albums take years to make, and the whole songwriting process, that becomes an intellectual ownership of me. It's my music, it's my combination of the notes, the melody that puts it all together. And then if somebody likes it, it has value. If nobody ever listens to it, it has, it's only got value to the person that created it. But if it becomes popular and it winds up in a Ford commercial or Chevy commercial, I can promise you this: Ford ain't going to go, hey, we use this guy's stuff, we're going to donate him some money. They wouldn't donate anything.
That won't happen.
Well,
but they wouldn't happen. It would never happen.
In my fanciful utopia, they would.
Yeah, and you're some
Yes,
crazy
it is
fucking
a rather
land your
fanciful
mind
idea.
lives in.
Yeah.
Crazy Ken, ladies and gentlemen.
Bullshit intellectual property.
Oh, you're a dork. We love intellectual
just saying
property
that
at the
'cause you don't
Mayhem.
have any.
We believe in intellectual property. This is why Ken is a good host with us, because he's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But I love that about him. He's still a great guy. He's just cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs. Hey, there's another song I want to play here. I actually have two songs I want to play by this band today.
Are we allowed to do that?
Pop Evil. Yeah, yes, we are. And again, all this music today, go to YouTube. You can go to their Facebook pages. I will list all this stuff. I know I keep saying that, but we're having struggles getting this stuff put up the right way. So anyway, but
Links will be in the show notes.
Yes, exactly. Pop Evil, Walking Line. Do you guys want me to play it now, or did you have something else to yell at me about? Anybody?
I'd like to talk about your hairstyle.
We can talk about
let's
it.
not talk about the hair.
I got a text message from one of my friends who said I look like you look like a transgender Rod Stewart. I don't care. Whatever. We got to get Caitlyn Jenner on the show. Did you see? Anybody see? There was a post on online in the news media. I can't remember which. I think it was Yahoo News. A restaurant.
The bathrooms.
A restaurant put two pictures of Bruce Jenner. One is Caitlyn on the women's door, and one is Bruce on the men's door. And now they're taking all kinds of shit for it. I think that's funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Why would that be a problem?
Because they're violating his intellectual property.
You're an idiot. That's just so stupid. See, when I don't know why people get upset about that kind of stuff, because if you can't find the humor in how silly that is, and listen, I don't care what Caitlyn does or what Bruce Jenner does with his body. It doesn't change a fucking thing that he was, an unbelievable athlete and a gold medal winner and a record holder,
and a terrible driver.
Well, he was a better driver as a guy.
He didn't run anybody over as a dude.
Right. No, he was running people over once he got tits and had his penis changed
because
around.
they get in the way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why women are such shitty drivers, because your fun bags are always
patriarchy.
But what? I just sexually assaulted every.
It is a problem for female golfers, though. I don't know how much it interferes with
sports
driving.
bras.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should wear one of those around the house all the time. Meow.
Not going to touch it.
Could we go back to you're going to play Pop Evil?
Pop Evil, Waking Lions. Let's see if this one fucks up this time on me. Jesus. Here it is.
Is this better? Tell me there's a better way. I'm not afraid.
Oh, Pop Evil. Freaking love that song, man.
That was great. They are going to be at the Forge in Joliet, November 21st.
Really?
And they've got a new album out in February.
Well, how about that? Waking Lions. Or no, Pop Evil. Yeah, Waking Lions.
It didn't sound too poppy, though.
No, that was rocking. I give me a good pop song. You know, like one of my favorite pop songs, kind of R&B songs, is "Getting Jiggy with It" by yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
I love that song.
Will Smith, "Getting Jiggy with It." How do you go
it.
wrong with that song? You can't.
You can't.
But you know, I love to hear this new hard rock, man, because there's hard rock still to this day. I mean, there's not a lot of place for it unless you get to Sirius satellite radio. And I got to be honest with you, you know, I listen to Sirius, and I'm not. Hold on.
You're not getting jiggy with the Sirius when it comes to hard rock and stuff like that.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of stuff. You know, most of the shit that I'm finding that I like is I'm finding on on YouTube. So, you know, I got to really seek some of this stuff out. But yeah, here, I mean, how do you go wrong with this? You can't.
I don't care how white you are. You're gonna move your butt.
You're gonna move to this song.
You just have to move to this song.
And you know, Will Smith is so handsome. I don't mean to sexually harass Will Smith or anything, but he's a freaking handsome guy. Yeah. Oh. Well, what if I'd like to smack his ass with my bare hand? It says bare ass with my bare hand.
I guess I don't know you as well.
Honey, come ride. DKNY, all up in my eyes. You got a rider, bag with a lot of stuff in it.
Oh, I love this song. I still love this song. But I like the nookie too, you know?
Oh God, Limp Bizkit, I can't stand them. Freaking
what? Come on.
Those guys. Now I don't even believe in intellectual property, but those guys are a couple of thieves.
Oh, stop it!
They are that when they were looking for a new guitarist after Head left, freaking anybody that auditioned for them, they took their music. Like they had them sign, rights over to the music that these people wrote. I mean,
but didn't you just say you don't believe in intellectual
I do,
rights?
but it was still shitty of them.
Well, but you said
they do. I mean,
no, go ahead. What were you saying?
It's just
Sorry.
rude. You know, it's just crappy. Like, how are you going to steal people's music? You know, in this system.
You're such a fucking hypocrite. This is the absolute opposite of everything you said 7 minutes ago.
But, see, they're using the force and violence of, the state to prevent people from having their own stuff. You know, that's what I don't like. So.
Hey, you want to know what's really cool that I found this week? It was really awesome. So this woman goes into a Sam's Club, and it turns out she's got a page called Diva in the Making, and she's a thicker lady, but check this out. So she's in Sam's Club, and you know how they have in the the tech section, they have those little shitty karaoke machines,
right.
You can buy for $100. Check this out. She just rocked this. Here, you see her in the. Now you guys can't see the video, but
maybe this time you'll stay.
She's got a voice.
Sam's Club karaoke.
Maybe this time.
She's playing with this. So she's playing with this whole thing, right? And I mean, people are walking past her and stuff, but listen to her go.
She's got an amazing voice.
Look at the flashy thing on the little cheesy thing.
I'll be home at last.
I want to hear her do Santa Baby.
Not losing.
So she busts it out, and then she goes ahead and she does this video, and she's got, her friend videotapes it on their phone, and 52,000 views later, here she is with her shopping cart.
Full Gucci bag.
That's freaking awesome.
That is great.
It's like those guys who went to Walmart and pulled out these shitty little guitars, and they were really great guitar players, two kind of chubby guys, and they just rocked it, man. They went silly with it. It was really awesome. That's what I got right now.
It's all about the guerrilla marketing these days. You just go in somewhere, do something crazy, film it, throw it up on the internet, and people love you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the coolest stuff that makes it is usually the impromptu stuff that's not really well planned out. And, it's kind of silly because people in their natural habitat at Sam's Club or Walmart can really...
Is that anybody's natural habitat?
That is. You saw what she was wearing in that video, right? Everything was kind of like, I don't care about getting up today, but I got to go get some butter.
Do we need to do a website called the People of Sam's Club now?
They have that. There's the people of Walmart, and they have the people of Sam's Club.
Walmart, same difference.
And that whole guy is a freaking genius because they have girls in yoga pants, and that he has this whole line of websites. By the way, I'll talk about that next week because I'm assembling a little army of really brilliant women, and I've taken all these names for communities, and these brilliant women, hopefully we're together, we're going to run these pages because there's this group out here that and I'm not going to mention his name because that would just be pumping him up, but he has these sites that are supposedly community sites, so you would go to these sites, but he makes everybody pay to participate. So then he blows everybody who pays him, so to speak. And then other businesses that are generally doing better than the people that are paying don't get to market their stuff on his page. And then if you don't have way liberal leaning views, he restricts you from commenting on the page. So it's not a true community page. The community should be decided by the people who participate in the community, which, place is your favorite, which tire place, this, that, the other thing, and it should be real. Well, and you can't just promote only the people who pay you because it's set up, and the average person who might be moving to these communities, including this one, Oswego, he's got that one, they're new here, they don't know, they go to this page and they only hear about 8 businesses when there's 50.
Well, if it's his platform, if he created it, he can put whatever he wants.
No, he can do whatever he wants, but it's shitty because it's diluting the reality of what is really happening in that community because it's diluted with the money.
Well, then you need to make a better one.
Yeah,
that's where the free market comes in.
You should see how many pages I've taken already. So anyway, so we got a whole new line, and it's going to have a whole new name. And get ready. Because once I blow it out, and it's just, I know some of these really intelligent, wonderful women that are, would like to participate in it. If we get all our shit together, we can grow this. Because I've taken all the neighborhoods in Chicago, all the counties, I've taken all the important names around those counties, the bigger cities, and I've all made them the same. So it's like got a title. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, and then the town and the county, the town name or the county name or whatever. So.
That's how you do it.
I plan to just aggravate him as much as possible. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Super troll.
Look at Linda's got a smirk on her face like, God, he's such an asshole. I know that's what's going through your mind.
I'm just thinking this is you're a font of ideas, and this is one we haven't even talked about yet.
Did you say a font?
Yes.
How about a fountain? Because it just keeps running.
Yeah.
A font. I don't even know what that means.
Not like a letter font. Never mind.
Oh, okay, Miss Fan.
Good old
I'm
English.
sorry, I'm Danish. I know all kinds of words you've never heard. Oh. Hey, listen, let's play a song by In This Moment. This is Roots.
Nappy Roots?
Well.
Promises you wrote, I was watching.
It's Jack Letourneau from Satellite Studios in Chicago. You're listening to the world-famous Darren and the Dag-Nabit Show.
That's right, damn it. The world-famous Darren. That's me, this hair and this do-rag. What's up? How you doing? How you all doing? How you doing?
Humble as ever.
So that was nice.
Go ahead.
That was In This Moment, right? Band out at L.A.
Yep.
Song called Roots.
It was pretty cool. Check out the video, guys. The guitarist in the back, he kind of looks like this badass Viking dude that's just gonna like come in, just rape your village and chop your head off. But instead, he's just playing these badass guitar riffs.
Yeah, no, that's
charming.
It's a lot of great music, man. You got to get out and seek it out, and we're just too narrow-minded musically, and we listen to what we know, and that's how we start to define music, and it's really kind of sad because so many of the artists that we know, encompass this much space when it's huge. I mean, it's so much bigger than what we're used to listening to. And there's so much great music out there now that just, unfortunately, gets ignored. And, these people, people say record deals aren't being given out, and that's not necessarily true. Any bands that are generally starting to gain some more popularity, and that's minimal compared to a band who was gaining popularity, was really becoming stars back in the days. They were becoming Journeys and, Foreigners. Nowadays, you'll see stuff on the Vevo pages and so on, etc. They're just really small, and they can still sell out clubs, but they're of 400 or 500 people, not 50,000. Right. And that's where I think the real music lives, because the struggle in so many ways is because the mediums are so big and vast. YouTube with 1 billion subscribers, Facebook with 1 billion subscribers or more, and now the competition, now you have all these ways to get your music out there, and you can record your music so much more inexpensively now than you could. I mean, I can make an album in this room with a 4-channel mixer and an interface and do it all in this room, literally. That's audio quality, radio ready to rock and roll. I download plugins that can do pre and post mix. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do now for nothing. So, but now the landscape is very, very large. So people buy songs one at a time now. Now a lot of people buy albums. I have some albums here, and they're really cool to look through. And it's again that being able to open up a record and smell the album and smell the vinyl and the cardboard and look at the pictures and see who played on it.
These newer generations, they don't appreciate that tactile.
No, they don't.
That tactile feeling. They're so connected to their screens that they didn't grow up with that stuff. If anything, they grew up like opening Pokemon cards or something. Well,
this is why all the a lot of the music that we listen to today is just all canned, Yeah,
and, oh my God.
And there's no appreciation for what it takes to learn how to play an instrument behind you. There was a South Park episode of the kids playing Guitar Hero, and then Randy, Stan's dad, pulls out a guitar and he's playing the Kansas song. And they're like, oh, and the kids went, what are you doing? And he goes, well, all these songs you're playing, I really know how to play them. Dad, that's dumb. So, but it is. Kids just aren't into picking up the instrument, and I appreciate all kinds of music. I like Eminem. I like Jay-Z. I like a lot of different music. I like NWA. I like Beastie Boys. But even I was listening to some old hip hop yesterday during the day, and I'm like, wow, it's so much better than today's hip hop. It was angry, it had a point to it, and today it just seems canned like everything else.
The music that we have these days, it really reminds me of the part in 1984 when Winston's up in his little room that he rented away from everything, and there's this little woman downstairs that's hanging up her clothes, and she's whistling this song that he knows was created in a factory, in a lab, specifically to distract all the little proles and stuff like that. And that's what I look at all this music these days. Like, it's all just canned bullshit just put out there to distract people.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a lot of good music, anymore. It was kind of funny. I was listening to an interview with Kelly Clarkson this week, and you know, since she won American Idol in what was it, 2002 or whatever, she was a hostage to that label until this new album for 15 years.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's indentured servitude.
Yeah.
You know, at its finest. And finally, she's gone out and she's made her own album. She's on a new label. I think she's on Atlantic now, but it's all her now. Now she has control for 15 years. She had no control over what the hell she was creating and what was going to be accepted that was going to get, you know, food on her table. So you get stuck playing along in this bullshit. So this is why I have a lot of respect for these artists that are really busting it out and doing things on their own that are really cool. And that being said, I think, what do you want? Listen, we've got, in this thing here, I've got 4 more songs here, and we don't have enough time to get to them, so we'll play some of them next week. But did I put the Samantha Fish in here?
You did.
All right, so Samantha Fish is a 3-piece band. She's a blues player. In this video, this song is called Gone for Good, and it's live at Telluride Blues and Brews Festival. But she plays a guitar, and I've seen these guitars, and I actually almost bought one at the guitar store because it was like $80. But it's made out of a cigar box. Listen to this woman play this guitar. This is Samantha Fish, Gone for Good.
You've got such a calmness there, I can't break on through. I did everything you wanted me to make you stay. Every reason that it was just an excuse, you know, people say, perfect getaway. You gone, girl. Gone, I know feeling so low. Gone, I know time is gonna roll me up. Thank God you're gone, girl. I tell you right, if you're feeling good, let me see your hand. Hey. 'Cause when the days are gone, long by you're gonna think about me after some time. I swear I'm gonna show you how you lost your goddamn mind. I didn't matter, no, not one little bit. How could you leave me here alone? I try to forget your misery, no, my heart tied to a stone. You're gone, gone, girl. Gone, I know feeling so low. Gone, and I know time is gonna roll me up. Thank God you're gone, girl. I swore I couldn't live without you. Now I'm staring at the holes in my wall where the pictures hung there. You're back on is just a dream I am with you. You're only mine. We walk longer. God, I know baby stronger. God, I know time is gonna roll me up. Hey, God, you're gone, but God, God, and I know, hey, so long. God, I know time is gonna roll me up. Thank God you're gone,
I'm sorry, she's badass.
Got like a 30-second outro. This shit, yeah, this is amazing.
You know, that's where the heart of music is for me. Is it's getting out and doing it. You know, just getting out and playing it. Don't think so much about it. Play loud. Play what you want. Write some shit to go along with it and have a good time, and that'll translate to the audience. I would like to think anyway.
Dude, the best thing that I love about live performances is just watching the singers' faces. They scrunch it all up, all crazy style. Like, they make the best faces. It's better than sex faces.
She jams, man. Samantha Fish, gone for good. You had some info on Samantha Fish.
Well,
Linda.
just she had her 2017 release, Chills and Fever, made the Billboard Top 10 on the blues
Mike,
list.
get on the mic, please.
Billboard Top 10 blues list. Yeah. Chills and Fever.
Freaking awesome. Well, we're getting close to the end of our show here. We got like 10 minutes left. And I definitely want to get to 12-Foot Ninja. I'm gonna have to put a couple of these tunes to next week. You know, with next week, well, depending on how things go next week, if it happens the way I hope it's going to happen, it's going to be an amazing show, and everybody should tune in. Tune in to us here at the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem on Facebook. You can tune in on my page. Hopefully, we'll have this on YouTube here and on our website at the mayhemusa.com. But the mayhemusa.com is brand new, and I'm still kind of building it, so feel free to go there and look around, but there's not a whole lot there yet. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, you know, we should be good today. I don't think we'll get droned. We didn't really cover nearly as much as we did on the last episode I was on.
Hopefully
So
we won't
be
get
up.
droned. Listen, you know, here's the thing is I think, you know, these platforms have their right to kind of, I guess, say and do what they want. You know, they're companies and they're for-profit organizations, and certainly we're not out to offend or hurt anybody, but we certainly hope that we can have a voice that matters and that somebody's willing to listen to and have a good time doing it. So,
And I mean, we got all these great, intelligent listeners and people watching right now. I mean, these people are amazing. You know, I mean,
you're such an ass kiss. Most of them all hate me. But, you know, what's cool is that, though, throughout the week, the shows gain a lot of traction when people have time. And, you know, we've got some shows that are up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 views, you know, and that's a big deal. When we're starting to get people paying attention from, you know, different parts of the world, I think, you know, I don't know. I mean,
it all doing something right.
It only matters if it can maintain some longevity, and if we can keep the show interesting, we can keep it fun, we can introduce people to new music. You know, I think that's what it's all about. And you know, we shouldn't be afraid to talk about things that we want to talk about. But I think, you know, maybe somewhere along the lines we got to try and be somewhat respectful on the political issue because we don't want to alienate people. So I don't know what the answer is, and certainly we don't want to piss off where our feed is going and then get booted, and if you missed the live show, you're shit out of luck. So hopefully we didn't piss anybody off at the powers that be at Facebook. We had a good show today. Linda, you look like you have something to say here.
I was just thinking that I was sad that I missed the show that you were on before, that Ken.
Or I got the freak chicken out.
Yeah. I missed the Ken and Chicken show because...
Yeah, it was awesome. Chicken was fantastic filling in for you. She was great.
I'm sure she was amazing.
Yeah, she's ugly too.
Oh.
So that being the case, nobody wants to see her face.
Everybody that knows her knows that
radio.
is so not true. She is beautiful.
I have beautiful daughters. So
yes, you do.
But let's go over this again. Duh.
The hair.
What the hell did you think this was going to make? When you put this seed into a machine that makes humans, it's going to be awesome.
And humble.
And very humble. Very, very humble. So, that was Samantha Fish. Get out and find her stuff, man, if you like the blues. Well, here's what I got left up here. I've got Pop Evil, but we played them already. So, this song was from 2015 that I was thinking about playing. The song we just played was from 2017, was just released, and they got this chick drummer in that band too, who's hot and awesome. So, really excited about that for them. But 12-Foot Ninja, man, what do you say you want to end on some 12-Foot Ninja?
Sure.
I mean, because actually we have 7 minutes to go, and so you probably better find something to say here that's interesting that compliments me would be nice. By the way, you look very pretty today, Linda.
Thank you.
Linda's going to be 59 years old. 59.
Bullshit.
Honest to God.
I got to double check that ID.
She's going to be 59 years old. Not in a week or anything, but she is going to be 59 years old. She looks pretty good for an old broad. Wish she could clean houses.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. She does a fine job cleaning house. And I got to get to the shop this afternoon, and we got a lot going on today. And then tonight, got to sit down and pay bills. Yay. That's always a lot of fun. But I'll keep you posted this week on my personal page, on the Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem page, on the Darren Edwards Project page, as to what we got going on here for next week. And we're going to end the show here. I want to thank Ken for being here. You're going to be here with us next week?
Hell yeah.
All right, so Ken will be here with us next week. And Linda, bump it up, baby, you hot little butter monkey. And we'll end the show here with 12-Foot Ninja, a band out of Australia. This is One Hand Killing. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Now put your money where your mouth is. You have the method, but will you move mountains? This has become quite a vehicle with a roof or a grandiose ego. You have adapted to the role. Your portrayal portrays your soul. Wherever you may go, may your heart remain yours.
That was 12-Foot Ninja Man. Get out, watch that video. Great video. Thanks, everybody, for paying attention to us today. We love you, and we can't wait till next week. Thank Ken for being here. Linda was beautiful, as always. And, oh, sorry, Ken. Let me turn it up so you can say hi and bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to share it, like it, tell all your friends.
Oh, that's right.
Post it to every group.
Yes. The Dag-Nabit Music Mayhem.
It will blow your mind. As long as you don't get sexually harassed.
Shh, don't say blow. You might be sexually harassing somebody. All right. Hey, listen, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, listening, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.